can do. Love is like an action, and it's up to me and you. There's something I believe in.
Hi and welcome to the second day of Elim Bible Week. Last night we had an amazing night, almost wondrous in some way, but we had over 1,300 people in our youth, children's and in our main hall, which was amazing. And obviously last night we kicked it off with Jeff Lucas and our own worship team, and here's just a small clip of what happened.
One of our problems is that we confuse the beautiful conviction, the wondrous conviction of the Holy Spirit with shame. And I go to some churches, normally only once, where people get together to feel bad every week. When I became a Christian in 1837, somebody said to me, if you feel bad, it's the Holy Spirit convicting you. They said, always let your conscience be your guide. That's what the Bible says. I looked in the Sermon on the Mount for that statement, always let your conscience be your guide. I couldn't find it. I looked in the Psalms. I looked in Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Couldn't find it. Finally, I tracked down that piece of beautiful wisdom, always let your conscience be your guide. It is Jiminy Cricket to Pinocchio. Let's be sensitive to the beautiful conviction of the Holy Spirit, which is specific.
Hi, we're here with Ross Mcbride, who is the youth director of what's going on within Elim Ireland, Series for God. And we're just going to chat with Ross for a wee while, just to find out a wee bit about him and what's going on within Series for God Ireland. So Ross, can you just tell us a wee bit about maybe how you got involved in youth and how that came about?
Yeah, I became a Christian when I was about 15, and a while after that I got filled with the Holy Spirit and just really had a passion and a desire to reach young people and see young people set free and see them filled with God's Holy Spirit, walking in God's power. And I got involved in youth work in my church, which was Mcbride Road, Elim, when I was about 17, and I've been working with young people ever since.
Yeah. So you got involved in youth work, and how did that then progress to, you know, just maybe helping out at a church or being a volunteer? Obviously you're now in a full-time capacity and as a pastor, but how did you move on to becoming a pastor as well as being ahead of the Series for God work in Ireland?
Yeah, I felt the call of God on my life probably when I was around 17 or 18, and I knew one day that I would be in full-time Christian ministry. So I applied for Bible college. I ended up going to Bible college when I was about 21. I went to Bible college for 3 years. And then after that, I started working in Mcbride Elim as the youth pastor and started to work more with young people. And then from that, I was asked on to the Series for God team, which was then just the Elim youth team. And that was about 7 years ago now. So,
very good, very good. And you're now in Portadown. You tell me what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm one of the pastors in Portadown, Elim. I've been there for 2 years, and we're enjoying ourselves and enjoying ministry there, and God's doing just incredible things, so yeah, it's going well.
Good, good. So tell then, Series for God, give us a wee bit of a, I know there's a whole load of things there and we could be here for a day and a half maybe, but tell us a wee bit of the things that are going on within Series for God.
Yeah, Series for God really, it exists for a number of reasons. One is to provide a network of youth workers and a bit of a family feel of youth workers. It's letting youth workers know that there's other people around them who will care for them and support them and even resource them if they can. So we provide that sort of network for youth workers. We also provide training events for youth workers, for emerging leaders, young leaders who are about 16 to 22. We bring them away for a day, and this year we'll be bringing them away for a residential, just to be able to impart in the young leaders as well. We also have our events, Relentless Bible Week, Youth Camp, which happens in August. This year we'll have around 430 young people camping with us for the week, and that week's really just given over to, we named it Relentless because it's about our relentless pursuit of God and God's relentless pursuit of us. And from Relentless Youth Camp we take Relentless on tour to different locations throughout the island, probably about 4 locations a year. We also have a Revive weekend, and we have other training days, forums, and lots of different things just going on in Serious for God. But it's very much led by, we have a really great team around us.
Yeah, great. And maybe you could tell us, I know that there's been a few stories here and there. Is there one that maybe comes out of your head that you maybe think of what's been happening maybe with a specific young person? Or
yeah, I think some of the breakthroughs that we've seen this last while is, I really believe that we're seeing a generation of young people coming through our church who don't have the same fears that maybe I had and maybe others have when they were that age. A generation of young people who believe that God speaks to them prophetically, that they can hear God and they can communicate that to others. And I know when I was 16, 17, the thought of having a word from God, or whatever way you would term it, but the thought of having that was something that would have frightened me, and I never would have spoken it or shared it. But we see a generation of young people now who are unashamed in their worship. They'll lift their hands, they'll get on their knees, they'll weep before God. They're unashamed in their worship, but they have this freedom that they know when they've heard from God, and they'll speak that out. We're seeing the prophetic rising up within young people, which has just been so exciting, and a desire for miracles. There is a generation of young people who are hungry to see miracles, a generation of young people who want to see the power of God, who want to see the healing power of God. And I know in our meetings, in our youth meetings, our Relentless meetings, that we've seen a real increase in healing, and we have seen, I would say over this last 2 years, I have seen more young people filled with the Holy Spirit than I've seen in the last 15 years. And that's not just down to Serious for God, it's down to something that God's doing right throughout the nation amongst young people. It's down to something that God's saying, something that He's speaking, and to young people right across the island. So it's a very exciting time to be involved in youth work.
Great. And just at this point, can you maybe there's youth leaders listening, or churches, pastors that maybe haven't connected with you? How can they connect? What's the contact details that they can get a hold of? Or
yeah, really simple. If you want to connect with us, you probably will be already receiving communication from us. It comes by post, it comes by email, it comes to your senior pastors, it comes from head office as well. We try sort of every avenue to get word out there, and we're on Facebook as well. But simply, if you want to contact us, you can just get in touch with us at our email address, and that's just S4G /Ireland and at hotmail.co.uk, and you'll get us there and any information that you need. We also have a stand here at Bible Week this week, and if you'd like to speak to anybody, there's somebody there every night. There's some more flyers there if you want more information. But if you haven't contacted us, or if you're not sort of coming to any of our events, we would love to speak to you, and we'd love to build a bit of a relationship with you and get you involved in the life of the movement and amongst the other youth workers as well.
Great. Okay, so Elim Bible Week, you're here, you've got meetings on at 7:30 every night. What's going on within the youth department or youth side of things at Elim Bible Week?
Yeah, really, our team have come up with a theme this week of Freedom Reigns, and every night we're talking about freedom. Last night was freedom from the past, and Darren from Serious for God team, he was speaking, and he encouraged young people. All of the young people were given a piece of chain, and he encouraged them at the end of the talk just to come down and lay those chains down at the cross. And it was just a real special moment just to see, well over 100 young people just coming down to the front and just laying those chains down and trying to find and praying and asking God to know that freedom. Tonight will be freedom from fear, and it'll be a different aspect every night. And we just want a generation of young people who know real freedom, true freedom, that he who the Son sets free is free indeed, and that those verses, those freedom verses and that freedom teaching, that it wouldn't just be head knowledge, but it would move from our heads to our hearts, and that young people would live it and experience it. So we're talking about freedom reigns all day.
Brilliant. I'm sure maybe if you're listening, you've heard the passion, and do not, if you have a youth group, do not let them miss this. Do not let them miss what God's doing through Serious for God, and please, if I know Ross and the team would love to have you at 7:30 every night this week, if you're free, or if your youth groups are free, why not just try and rally them together and get them along.
Something I believe in, with mysteries untold, it's still the greatest story.